So for me, it is purely about making that field of vision so narrow that all I'm focusing on is that wheel nut, and I know I've just got to hit that wheel nut with the gun as it arrives. There's a few other things that I use as sort of like guides. I think I always talk about the rhythm of a pit stop. For me, it's almost like a dance you do with the other two people on your corner. And I sort of think of it as like rhythm, but the sort of the cue for everybody else to start moving is as I get that socket to hit the wheel nut straight away. That's sort of the trigger for all of it. So yeah, it's obviously a lot of hours of practice, but
it reminds me a bit of a Formula One car coming out of a slow corner onto a long straight, right? You mess up the exit of the corner, you're carrying that the whole way down the straight. As the person who is making contact with the car first, you mess that up. Yeah. It's carried for the rest of that pit stop, isn't it?
Yeah, and one of the worst things you can do is if, let's say, that first bit of the wheel, that first bit of the stop does go wrong, you can get what's like a dog to dog, between the nut and the socket, and you can spark up the socket and it looks like you're having fireworks in the pit lane. But I think the worst thing you can do in that situation is try to make up the time. Like you can't. If you try to make up the time, it's only going to get worse and worse. You have to almost, in that split second, you almost have to just reset. And if you can do that, then your bad stop might be 3 or 3.5 seconds. Yeah. If you find yourself in a situation where you either panic or you try to make up the time or try and take a shortcut or whatever, then you're going to end up with a bad stop that's 5, 6, 7 seconds.